In the next 27 minutes, everything you believe about your potential, your limitations, and your future can change. If you allow yourself to feel the truth of what you're about to hear. Because right now, whether you realize it or not, you're standing at a crossroads. One path leads to the same routines, the same doubts, the same results. The other leads to the life you were meant to live, the version of you that's been buried under fear, hesitation, and years of believing you're not ready yet. And the fact that you're here, listening to this moment, is the clearest sign that something inside you is done waiting. You've felt it, haven't you? That quiet frustration, that voice that whispers late at night, you're capable of more. You're meant for more. But life gets loud. Responsibilities, stress, comparison, expectations. All of it drowns out the fire that used to burn inside you. Today that fire comes back, because transformation doesn't start with motivation, it starts with awareness. It starts with the courage to say, I can't keep living the same days and expecting a different life. Right now, you're not watching a video. You're stepping into a decision to stop shrinking yourself for comfort, a decision to stop apologizing for wanting more, a decision to rise into the identity you've been avoiding because deep down you're afraid you might actually succeed. But hear this, success doesn't belong to the lucky, it belongs to the bold, the ones willing to take back control of their time, their habits, their mind, and in these next moments, you're going to learn how to do exactly that. Not someday, not when things calm down, but now, because your future self is begging you not to waste another year repeating the same patterns. So, take a breath. Lock in. This is the moment everything shifts. This is your turning point, and once you step through it, life will never look the same again. Success isn't a mystery, and it's definitely not the result of luck. It's a structure, a system, a way of living that ordinary people use to create extraordinary outcomes. The moment you understand this, everything about your path forward becomes clearer, because the truth is, nobody wakes up suddenly transformed. Nobody stumbles into greatness. They build it brick by brick, habit by habit, choice by choice. And the very fact that you're here right now means you're ready to build yours. Think about the people you admire, the ones who seem unstoppable, focused, disciplined. They're not superhuman, they're not smarter or more naturally talented than you. What they have is alignment. They've built routines that protect their focus, systems that guide their energy, and habits that keep their momentum alive. Even on the days motivation disappears. They're not relying on willpower, they're relying on structure. And that's exactly what you're about to create. The biggest mistake most people make is believing that success comes from big, dramatic changes. But psychologically, it's the small shifts that make the biggest impact. Micro improvements, tiny disciplines repeated daily. They rewire your identity, strengthen your belief, and create a foundation that doesn't crumble at the first sign of pressure. These shifts are powerful because they're achievable, repeatable, and unstoppable when they compound. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You just need to understand that your systems shape your destiny. You rise or fall to the level of the routines you follow. When your days are built with intention, your life becomes unstoppable. When your habits align with your goals, results become inevitable. So as you move forward, don't think of yourself as trying to achieve success. Think of yourself as engineering it, designing it, step by step. Because once you take control of your structure, your success stops being a possibility and becomes a promise. Your potential becomes your standard, and your future starts to take shape exactly the way you choose. Your morning is not just the beginning of your day, it is the foundation of your identity. It is the quiet, powerful moment where you choose who you're going to be before the world has a chance to decide for you. And if you want to transform your life, the first place you must reclaim is the moment you wake up. Because the truth is simple, the way you start your morning determines the way you live your life. Most people open their eyes and immediately fall into reaction, scrolling, comparing, responding, absorbing noise before their mind has even formed a single intentional thought. They begin the day already behind, already overwhelmed, already disconnected from themselves. But that's not you, not anymore. You are stepping into a higher standard. Radical morning control is about declaring to yourself, I lead my day, I shape my focus, I choose my direction. When you take command of your first 60 minutes, everything after that aligns naturally. You set the tone, you create the momentum, you build the discipline that carries through every goal you chase. Start simple. No phone for the first 30 minutes. Protect your mind before you let the world in. Move your body even for a few minutes, because motion activates clarity and confidence. Set a single intention, one powerful sentence that reminds you who you are becoming. This is not about perfection, it's about identity. Every morning you follow these steps, you're telling yourself, I am someone who takes control. I am someone who shows up. I am someone who grows. And here's the psychological magic. Your brain loves patterns. It believes what you repeatedly demonstrate. When your mornings become disciplined, your mind becomes disciplined. When your mind becomes disciplined, your life becomes unstoppable. Take back your mornings. Take back your power. This is where your transformation truly begins. Focus is not just a skill, it's a superpower. And in a world overflowing with distractions, notifications, and endless noise, the ability to direct your energy toward one meaningful goal each day is what separates the achievers from the dreamers. Most people fail not because they lack talent or ambition, but because their attention is scattered across too many directions. They try to do everything and end up completing nothing. But when you commit to the one goal rule, everything changes. Your mind sharpens, your path clears. Your progress accelerates faster than you ever imagined. Every morning you choose one task, just one, that truly moves your life forward. Not the easy task, not the comfortable task, the important one, the goal that builds your future, strengthens your identity, and pushes your limits. When you win that goal, even if the rest of the day falls apart, you still win the day. That's the psychological power of targeted focus. It transforms your confidence by showing you that meaningful progress is always within reach. This rule eliminates overwhelm. It frees you from the weight of trying to tackle 10 things and finishing none of them. It cuts through the noise and forces clarity. Your brain loves clarity. It performs at a higher level when it knows exactly what the mission is. And when you consistently hit that one powerful objective, you build momentum, a force stronger than motivation, stronger than willpower. Momentum becomes the engine that carries you from intention to achievement. Imagine what your life will look like after 30 days of completing one meaningful goal daily. That's 30 steps forward, 30 victories, 30 identity shifts telling you you are someone who gets things done. This is how success compounds. This is how confidence is built. And this is how breakthroughs happen, not by trying to do everything, but by mastering the next essential step. Choose your one goal, commit to it, crush it, and watch your entire direction shift. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps you moving long after the excitement fades. And if you want to build a life that refuses to collapse under pressure, you must stop relying on feelings and start relying on commitments. Feelings come and go. Discipline stays. Discipline shows up when you're tired, when you're busy, when you're stressed, when every excuse in the world is whispering, do it tomorrow. But discipline doesn't negotiate. Discipline decides. Most people lose momentum not because the goal is too hard, but because they wait to feel ready. They wait for inspiration. They wait for perfect conditions. But successful people understand a simple truth. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. When you take the first step, even a small one, you trigger something powerful in your mind. You prove to yourself that you are not controlled by comfort. You prove that you can lead yourself, and every time you follow through, you strengthen that identity. Think about this. Every promise you keep to yourself becomes evidence, proof that you are capable, consistent, and committed. And your brain pays attention to that proof. It uses it to shape your self-belief. When you say you'll do something and you actually do it, you're not just completing a task, you're rewriting your identity at the deepest level. You're teaching your mind to trust you, and trust is the foundation of unstoppable confidence. This is why micro-commitments are so powerful. You don't need massive leaps, you need consistent follow-through. Start with a 2-minute action, a 20-second push, a simple habit anchored to something you already do. Make it impossible to fail. Because once you take that first step, momentum takes over. Discipline isn't punishment, it's freedom. Freedom from procrastination, self-doubt, and wasted potential. The moment you stop waiting to feel ready and start acting with intention, you step into a version of yourself that can achieve anything. And that version is already inside you, waiting for you to choose it. We live in a world where your attention is the most valuable thing you own, and almost everything around you is trying to steal it. Every notification, every headline, every endless scroll is designed to pull your mind in 100 different directions. And the cost of that distraction is enormous. It drains your focus. It kills your creativity. It weakens your confidence. It keeps you too busy consuming to ever start creating. That's why information fasting isn't just helpful, it's transformational. It gives you back the clarity the world keeps taking from you. Most people don't realize how overwhelmed their mind is because they've never felt what a clear mind actually feels like. They wake up and instantly dive into noise. Messages, news, scrolling, stimulation, and by the time the day begins, their brain is already exhausted. That exhaustion doesn't come from effort. It comes from overload. Your mind isn't designed to process thousands of inputs before breakfast. It needs silence, space, stillness, and when you give it that, everything changes. Information fasting is simple. Create intentional gaps in your day where you consume nothing. No social media, no videos, no news, no noise, just presence, just thought, just clarity. Even 60 minutes of zero input can reset our brain in ways you cannot imagine. This is where creativity returns. This is where your real thoughts emerge. This is where solutions appear, the ones that were drowned under constant stimulation. Silence sharpens you. It reconnects you with your goals. It strengthens your intuition. It allows your mind to breathe, reflect, and strategize. The most successful people guard their mental space like treasure because they know that clarity is power, and clarity leads to better decisions, deeper focus, and stronger results. You don't need more information, you need more intention. Limit the noise, protect your mind, choose quality over quantity. When you master information fasting, you break free from the world's distraction trap and step into a state of mental strength few people ever experience. This is how you reclaim your focus. This is how you build your future. In a world that's constantly changing, the people who rise, the ones who break limits, reinvent themselves, and create extraordinary lives, are the ones who never stop learning. Self-education is the engine behind every major transformation. It's the habit that separates someone who merely survives from someone who steps into unstoppable growth. And the moment you commit to relentless self-education, your entire future expands because you're no longer limited by what you currently know, you're empowered by what you're willing to learn. Think about this. Every skill you gain becomes a tool. Every book you read becomes a mentor. Every idea you absorb becomes an advantage. While others waste hours scrolling, comparing, distracting themselves, you're sharpening your mind, strengthening your perspective, and gathering the knowledge that will push your life forward. That's the difference between stagnation and elevation. Not talent, not luck, learning. And the beauty is, you don't need hours a day. 10 pages, 1 podcast episode. A short course lesson. A few minutes of intentional practice. These small, consistent inputs ignite massive long-term growth. It's the compounding effect. Your mind becomes richer, your decisions become wiser, and your confidence becomes unshakable because you know you're constantly evolving. The most successful people in the world share one trait. They are students long before they become leaders. They never assume they've arrived. They're always hungry, always curious, always expanding their capacity. And that hunger is exactly what will separate you from everyone who quits too early or settles too soon. When you commit to educating yourself, you unlock possibilities you never knew existed. New opportunities, new strategies, new levels of thinking. You begin to outgrow your old patterns because you understand more, see more, and expect more from yourself. This is your advantage. This is your edge. Feed your mind, challenge your limits, become the person who learns faster, grows deeper, and refuses to stay the same. Because the moment you choose relentless self-education, you choose a future without ceilings. Identity is the invisible force that shapes every action you take, every habit you build, and every result you create. Long before you achieve success in the real world, you achieve it internally, by becoming the kind of person who expects success, acts like success, and refuses to accept anything less. This is the identity shift. The moment you stop living as the old version of yourself and step boldly into the identity of someone who wins. Because when your identity changes, your entire life follows. Most people try to change their behavior without changing who they believe they are. They say they want discipline, but still see themselves as inconsistent. They say they want confidence, but still label themselves as insecure. They say they want greatness, but still identify as ordinary. And that contradiction kills progress. You can't create a new life with an old identity. You must upgrade the internal blueprint before the external world ever begins to shift. So start speaking to yourself like the person you're becoming, not the person you've been. Choose thoughts that elevate you. Choose actions that prove your potential. When you wake up tired but show up anyway, you're becoming the version of you that doesn't quit. When you choose focus over distraction, you're becoming the version that prioritizes growth. Every choice you make is a vote for the identity you want to embody. The psychological truth is powerful. Your brain will fight to stay consistent with the identity you claim. If you declare daily, I am disciplined, I am driven, I am evolving, your actions will begin aligning with those words. And with every aligned action, your belief strengthens until your identity becomes undeniable. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by the identity you choose right now. Step into the character of someone who achieves, someone who leads, someone who breaks limits. Become the person your goals demand. The person your future self will thank you for becoming. Because once your identity shifts, success becomes your natural state. Imagine if you carved out just 27 minutes each day, not for the world, not for obligations, not for noise, but for you, for your growth, your clarity, your power. Most people underestimate what focus minutes can do because they're used to spreading their effort thin, but 27 minutes of intentional, strategic action is enough to elevate your mindset, strengthen your discipline, and shift the entire direction of your life. This is not about doing more, it's about doing what matters, with absolute purpose. The 27-minute blueprint is your daily reset, your personal ritual, your command center for success. In these minutes you stop reacting and start designing. You create momentum instead of waiting for it. You step into the driver's seat of your life with undeniable clarity and control. 5 minutes of breathing and intention primes your mind, pulls you out of autopilot and into awareness. You become grounded, centered, and ready to lead your day instead of being dragged by it. 7 minutes of movement awakens your energy, sharpens your focus, and snaps your brain into a state of readiness. You're not just stretching, you're activating the strongest version of yourself. Then comes the next 5 minutes, choosing your one goal, not a list of tasks, not a scattered plan, one mission, one powerful outcome that defines the success of your day. These minutes turn chaos into clarity and overwhelm into direction. 5 minutes of learning expands you. One new insight, one new strategy, one new idea, and suddenly your mind is richer, your vision broader. And the final 5 minutes? Reflection. This is where you acknowledge your growth, reinforce your identity, and sharpen tomorrow's momentum. That's it, 27 minutes. But the transformation these minutes create? Massive. Your mind shifts, your habits solidify, Your confidence rises because you're living with intention instead of drifting. If you can control 27 minutes, you can control your direction. Control your direction, and you can control your destiny. This is where your new life is built. One powerful minute at a time. Now is the moment to stop thinking and start acting. Every second you wait is a second the world is moving without you, a second your potential is slipping away. This is not a gentle suggestion. It is a challenge, a call to rise, a demand from your future self who has been waiting for you to take responsibility for the life you deserve. You are one decision away from breaking, free from mediocrity. One decision away from stepping into the person you were always meant to be. And that decision is yours right now. Too many people sit on the sidelines of their own life, hoping for the perfect time, the perfect circumstance, the perfect motivation. Let me tell you the truth. The perfect time will never come. Motivation is fleeting. Circumstances are unreliable. But your commitment, your action, your decision to start today, that is unstoppable. This is the line that separates winners from dreamers. Winners don't wait. They act. They step into discomfort. They risk, they push, they persist, and they create results that others only imagine. Every moment you delay is a moment you could have used to build momentum, to strengthen your mind, to create progress that compounds into an unstoppable force. Your future self is watching. Are you proud? Are you stepping up? Are you proving that you are serious about your growth? Because if you do nothing, nothing changes. But if you act decisively, with intention, with courage, you will change everything. So stand up. Commit to one powerful habit today. Commit to one focused action. Commit to building the life you've been dreaming of, minute by minute, habit by habit. Don't wait for inspiration. Don't wait for luck. Step into action. Your transformation starts the moment you decide that enough is enough, that now is the time, and that you will no longer settle for anything less than the extraordinary life waiting for you. This is your turning point. Claim it.